Thank you very much, Peter, and thank you to Richard for hosting us here in Birmingham for the UK's first ever Regional Investment Summit. Thank you, Richard. Over the summer, I went on a tour across the regions and nations of our great country to see our growth mission in action. I visited JP Morgan, who are investing £350 million in their Bournemouth campus. Haven Holiday Parks in Kent, who recently made a £140 million upgrade and welcomed a record 3.7 million visitors this year. And Go Cardless's new office in Leeds, delivering the high-skilled jobs in the city that I have represented as an MP for 15 years. Now, my daughter loved my visit to Haven so much that she asked to go back. Unfortunately, I'm yet to get my kids interested in financial services, though. Now, every day on that tour, I saw a country primed for economic success. Britain, as we all know, is home to some of the brightest talent and the most innovative businesses, ready to seize the opportunities and to build and to grow. But I also saw the obstacles that businesses face in getting ahead. Our economy is not broken, but I do accept that for too many people, it's not working as it should. Bills are too high. Businesses often don't have the tools that they need to succeed. And people are feeling that they put more in, but they're getting less out. That has to change. And at the budget last year, we fixed the foundations of our economy, returned stability to our economy. And at the budget next month, we will take the necessary steps to secure those foundations and that stability for the future. It is a future that we must build and we will build hand in hand with business, setting direction through our modern industrial strategy and our 10-year infrastructure strategy, a new relationship between business and government to tackle barriers to our competitiveness and to provide certainty for investment. Our skills strategy, published by Bridget Phillipson yesterday, launching a vision for developing the skilled workforce that our economy needs. And our reforms to the visa system, led by Shabana Mahmood, where last week we extended the global talent route to capture the best minds from a wider variety of sectors, made our innovative founders route a seamless transition for those already in the UK, and improved our high-potential individual visa route to include graduates from more of the world's best universities. And we are boosting British exports around the world through our trade deals with India, the European Union, and the United States, where just last month, the US state visit secured a record £150 billion of investment in the UK economy, creating more than 7,000 jobs in industries from biotech to AI. And last week in DC, I launched the Office for Investment Financial Services, a concierge service offering bespoke support to international firms establishing or growing their presence here in the UK. We increased the financial capacity of the British Business Bank to over £25 billion to help support more small businesses to start up and to scale up here in Britain. And we created Britain's first National Wealth Fund. We've announced £15 billion for city region transport, including here in the West Midlands, and £250 million across our 5 defence growth areas, including in Sheffield, where it went alongside more than £400 million pledged to Sheffield Forgemasters, safeguarding the production of steel here in Britain. And we're investing in the Oxford-Cambridge Growth Corridor. Thank you to Patrick Vallance for all your work on that, where we are today publishing a brand new prospectus of investor opportunities. But let me rewind back to a year ago, where we hosted the International Investment Summit in London. I want to tell you what some of the £63 billion of investment committed then is achieving today. Erin Holdings announced investment in North Wales. In June, they held a jobs fair for 200 new positions. Halion announced a new production facility in Weybridge. In July, they broke ground. And at the start of this year, we launched the AI Action Plan, and Kyndryl announced they were creating 1,000 jobs in Liverpool over the next 3 years. Today, we have Niall and Lamine in the room, 2 young people whose apprenticeships were a direct result of that investment. That is the difference that we are making. And those young people are now being trained in one of the industries of the future. This morning, I want to talk about the next step in that journey. How we are regulating our economy for growth. How we are overturning the old approach to public investment. And how the investment made by the people in this room is transforming our economy, our country. I believe that a strategic state must know when to intervene, but it also must know when to get out of the way. We cannot expect businesses like yours to flourish and grow if we're not willing to do our bit as your government. In March this year, the Prime Minister pledged that we would cut the administrative costs of regulation by 25%. A reduction that I can today announce will save businesses £6 billion a year by the end of this Parliament. That's an average of 200 hours of admin time per business in Britain. Time that could be much better spent on securing new orders and money better invested in the workforce and in new technology. Only weeks into office, we ripped up the planning rules. And the Planning and Infrastructure Bill now in Parliament will deliver over £2 billion in savings to businesses over the next 10 years. And can I praise the work of both Angela Rayner and now Steve Reed in driving that forward. And already this government has approved more major infrastructure projects in 1 year than any previous government. Our new food and farming agreement with the EU will slash red tape for businesses. And today we're going further to reduce corporate reporting requirements, scrapping needless form filling for tens of thousands of businesses, and taking the savings to businesses from our reforms to over £1 billion a year already. Because our vision for overhauling the regulatory system isn't just about cutting admin time. It's about regulating proactively to support innovation and investment. And so today I can announce 3 new reforms to boost competition and make the UK a top destination for global capital. First, we will consult on a cross-economy AI sandbox, modelled on the success of the FCA's pioneering FinTech sandbox, to allow new AI products to be developed under supervision by regulators, accelerating approvals for the use of AI in sectors like legal services, planning assessments, and advanced manufacturing. And I want to thank Liz Kendall for her work in that area. Second, the Civil Aviation Authority will publish an investor roadmap outlining the steps to launching commercial drone operations by 2027. Technology that has the potential to generate up to £66 billion in business revenues over the next 25 years and transform everything from surveying sites for development to delivering blood supplies for the NHS, as already trialled at Guy's and St Thomas's. And I want to thank Heidi Alexander for her work as Transport Secretary in this innovation. And third, we will reform the panels that review company mergers and provide greater certainty on whether transactions will be subject to merger control. And I'd like to thank the CEO of the Competition and Markets Authority, Sarah Cardill, for all the work that she and her team are doing to support this. These are the right choices to grow our economy and to unlock the power of investment, and to create the environment so that businesses can invest with confidence. Now, this is a regional investment summit, and I want to tell you why that matters. Previous governments left parts of our country out from investment. And I've heard from many people in this room, including Mayor Steve Rotherham from the Liverpool City region, about how the Treasury's own manual on value for money, the Green Book, was used against them, used against our regions, to downplay the importance of local outcomes and the potential of targeted regional investment. I have always believed that the only viable strategy for growth is one that rests on strong and broad foundations, with the contribution of every part of our country. And so in my review of the Green Book earlier this year, I announced our new place-based business cases. And today I'm pleased to announce that Liverpool, Plymouth, Port Talbot, and Birmingham will be the first 4 locations to trial this new way of looking at the reinforcing effects of different investments. And we're transforming public funding too, through our public financial institutions. Later today, I will open a meeting of CEOs across the public investment landscape to discuss how they will work together to support regional growth, complemented by investments made by the National Wealth Fund, as well as 3 new allocations from the Local Innovation Partnership Fund, including in Manchester, the Victoria North Urban Regeneration Project and the Trafford Heat Network, in West Yorkshire, through the delivery of mass transit and the Leeds South Bank project to expand Leeds City Centre, and in Glasgow, supporting the Clyde Metro and the Advanced Manufacturing Innovation District, bringing together universities and cutting-edge manufacturing. And in the West Midlands, investing in Green Power Park as well as Birmingham Sports Quarter, a £3 billion investment with a new stadium for Birmingham City at its heart. And I particularly want to thank Tom Wagner of Knighthead and the Mayor of the West Midlands, Richard Parker, who have worked tirelessly to turn that project into a reality. And there is more work being led by our fantastic leaders in other regions. In the west of England, the Mayoral Combined Authority are investing £38 million towards 2 new train stations in one of their 5 strategic growth zones. In the northeast, a new mayoral development zone in Newcastle will accelerate new homes and commercial premises, with over £2 billion of investment opportunities. In Cambridge and Peterborough, the £211 million Cambridge South Station is due to open in the new year, and the Peterborough Station Quarter regeneration will unlock employment space and 600 new homes. And in the East Midlands, where Homes England and the Combined Authority are launching procurement for a new partner for the Broadmarsh Regeneration Project in Nottingham City Centre, which will deliver 1,000 new homes and create 2,000 jobs. Our mission is clear: to create the right environment for investment through our regulatory reforms, to crowd in capital through our public financial institutions, and to break down silos to collaboration on local projects, supporting innovation and growth throughout the UK. Over the last year, the UK has welcomed billions of pounds of foreign investment, in addition to the domestic investment made by businesses, including in this room, every single day. And these are not just numbers. They are higher wages, new homes, and the transport, energy, and digital infrastructure that underpins our nation. Earlier this year, we published the final report of the Pensions Investment Review, and I want to thank the Pensions Minister, Torsten Bell, for his work. Alongside it, 17 of the UK's largest pension funds signed the Mansion House Accord, an agreement by our most powerful investment institutions to put more money into boosting the UK economy. I met with the 20 leaders of those funds earlier today, alongside the local government pension schemes and 3 major insurers, to launch the Sterling 20, a brand new investor-led partnership set up to invest in British assets, support our frontier sectors, and drive returns for British savers. At our first meeting this morning, we discussed their investment plans. £2 billion from Legal & General for social and affordable homes, road and rail upgrades, and backing startups. £85 million from Nest, bringing gigabit-capable broadband to underserved areas in Scotland and in Northern England. And investing in energy-to-waste plants in Staffordshire and in Durham, generating renewable power for tens of thousands of homes. And later today, we'll be hosting a delegation of Australian super fund CEOs responsible for more than £2 trillion worth of assets. Only yesterday, Australian Super announced a new £500 million investment fund as part of its plans to invest £8 billion in the UK over the next 5 years. This is just the start of what the investment is committed as part of today's summit will mean. Good jobs, thousands of jobs, thanks to the Crown Estate's new project at Harwell East, unlocking £4.5 billion of investment for our economy. 200 jobs in West Bromwich, where Freshways Dairy is announcing a new facility. And jobs just down the road from here in Solihull, which will soon be connected by the Metro extension, where Atos are opening a new AI development hub. It will mean homes and services for people in their daily lives. From Welltower, who are investing £6.4 billion in thousands of new places in elderly care, so that people can get the right support for their loved ones. £1.5 billion from Unite Students, including a £650 million partnership with Manchester Met and Newcastle universities, delivering accommodation for 4,500 students, whilst at the same time freeing up local housing for families. And £200 million from Blackstone, invested in the Birmingham National Exhibition Centre, a gateway for culture and for commerce. And it will mean deepening expertise in our cutting-edge industries. In September, Schneider Electric began production at its 42 million manufacturing facility in Scarborough. 2 weeks ago, Convatec announced a £500 million investment in a state-of-the-art R&D hub in Manchester. Lloyds Banking Group declared Bristol as its AI capital. And just today, Cummins has announced £30 million of investment in manufacturing in Daventry, helping secure our energy supply chains. Whilst Woven Capital, Toyota's growth stage investment arm, has announced that it will build its European growth capital team here in the UK, with an investment allocation of up to £300 million for innovative startups and scale-ups. I do not, and I will not, take for granted the confidence put in Britain by investors. The people in this room have shown today and over the last year that they want to invest here in the UK. You have backed Britain, and you have backed our regions. And I will not squander that trust. I know that there is further to go until we have delivered economic growth in every part of Britain. Growth that is felt in every part of Britain. We will go further to boldly regulate for growth, not to hold business back with arbitrary rules. We will continue to rewire public funding so that it considers local growth outcomes. And we will collaborate with leaders throughout our country, councillors, mayors, investors and business leaders, who knows what needs to be done to unlock the potential of their regions. The prize is clear. An economy that works for everyone, where businesses have the resources that they need, and where people have the tools for their success. Affordable energy in our homes, good jobs for our children, high streets regenerated. That is the power of investment. That is the power of regional growth. And that is what today is all about. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks very much, Amber. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I don't think we